Normandy, the 6th of June 1944, World War II. The Allies invades the beach of Omaha in what was known as the largest invasion of Allied naval and airborne forces to free Europe from German occupation. Opposing the landings were the German 352nd Infantry Division under General Erwin Rommel. But one German machine gunner holding the defense stronghold at WN-62 was the last man standing for more than 9 hours on June 6. Of the 352nd German Infantry Division, 12,020 men, 6,800 were experienced combat troops, detailed to defend a 53-kilometer coastline at Normandy. Heinz Severloh was a German machine gunner on this day. He reports that on D-Day, at his strong point, he was the only one at a machine gun defending his section of the beach. He was known as the Beast of Omaha, gunning for 9 hours and killed over 1,000 US soldiers as they disembarked the landing craft. The Allied forces were preparing to initiate Operation Overlord, the assault on Normandy, France, to commence Europe's liberation on the Western Front. Hundreds of warships and private vessels were advancing toward northern France from Britain, an invasion that was delayed because of bad weather. Field Marshal Erwin Rommel made every effort to strengthen the defenses in France, but there was a shortage of manpower, as well as ammunition and heavy arms. Private Heinrich Heinz Severloh was among the numerous soldiers assigned to protect the Omaha beach area from the advancing enemy troops, under the command of his lieutenant, Bernhard Fricking. He and his senior officer Berhard Fricking were assigned to protect one of the 15 strongholds securing Omaha Beach, namely WN-62. WN-62, known as Widerstands Nest, Resistance Nest 62, was the most powerful. It spanned more than 330 square meters and offered a great vantage point of the whole beach. Severloh was located at the heart of the conflict, operating the most powerful machine gun of World War II, the MG-42, which the Germans referred to as the Nochensäge or Boniesaw. The formidable machine gun boasted an impressive firing rate of approximately 1,200 rounds per minute with remarkable precision at distances of up to 3,000 meters. The strongly defended site was equipped with two 75mm artillery pieces, two 50mm anti-tank weapons, multiple mortars, and numerous machine guns, including MG-34s and MG-42s. Every machine gun position was strategically placed to optimize the area of impact throughout its line of sight. The MG-42 was a powerful weapon that could obliterate multiple enemy platoons in just seconds. Severloh's accuracy was relentless as he aimed at the Americans coming ashore from their landing crafts, and entire platoons were mowed down within seconds of being seen. At approximately 5 a.m. on June 6, 1944, the dawn greeted Severloh and the German troops with a sight they would remember forever. As the first light appeared, more than 34,000 US Army soldiers were ready to reach the shore in landing craft and engage the enemy. After disembarking the sea landing craft, numerous soldiers were trapped waist-deep in the waves, battling the heaviness of their equipment and the relentless enemy fire, with some trying to escape the frontal attack by jumping from the sides, only to face the same outcome. Before long, the bombers from the U.S. Army 8th Air Force soared above, releasing their destructive payload of bombs to obliterate the German artillery, machine gun positions, and coastal defenses. The entrenched Germans spotted the initial Allied landing vessels at approximately 6:30 a.m. Every man on board was from the renowned U.S. Army First Infantry Division, known as the Big Red One. Severloh held his finger on the bone saw's trigger, prepared to activate it the moment he received the command. He was ready to fire his M42 as soon as the first wave of landing craft lowered their ramps for the 1st Infantry Division soldiers to storm the beach. As soon as Severloh and his officer started firing their M42 machine rifles, the Americans would struggle to seek shelter if they happened to be in the water, but to no avail. They were sitting ducks, many drowned because they were dragged under the waves because of the weight of their arms and kit. Those who succeeded would still need to traverse flat ground to locate the German barriers intended to halt the landing vessels and utilize them for protection. Before the ramp was lowered, the Americans quickly attempted to evade his deadly machine gun fire by leaping off the sides of the landing craft. Rapid bursts from his MG-42 were more than sufficient to annihilate a whole platoon. When the landing craft in the first wave lowered its ramp for the soldiers to storm the beach, all 30 soldiers to disembark the landing craft was all instantly gunned down by Severloh. Wave after wave of soldiers leaving the landing crafts were literally butchered by the Beast of Omaha before they could reach the beach. Hundreds of bodies of the US soldiers were floating in the sea. Nonetheless, Severloh did not hesitate as another machine gun was taken out. making him the only defender of WM-62. He had already used up his 12,000 rounds of ammo and had claimed over 1,000 lives before he had to resort to tracer rounds to keep the Americans at bay. Eventually Civolo's WN-62 stronghold was overrun by the Allies. The Americans had already taken over their positions. Exhausted, inundated, and encircled, Civolo and the remaining survivors capitulated the next morning, concluding his military journey. Following a period as a prisoner of war in both the US and UK, Heinrich Civolo made his way back to Germany in 1947. He led a normal life, reconnecting with former soldiers from both sides in the decades that followed and documenting his wartime experiences in his 2002 publication WM-62. Hans Civolo passed away in 2006 and will ever remembered by his nation as the last man standing at WN-62 Wehrmacht stronghold on D-Day. The WM-62 remains can be found to the east of the American Normandy Cemetery and Memorial. Please like and subscribe to my channel as a gesture of your appreciation for this video.